watched a video of a guy, and I'll leave his name out of it, but a channel I usually like a pretty good bit on YouTube. And it involved, what he was viewing involved this transgender person. And it was, let's be clear on this transgender person. Just the most aggravating, just excruciating, weird liberal person that you ever want to see in your life. It's just like, I don't wish them any harm, but I don't want to be anywhere around this person ever. Just aggravating. Had all the terminology and everything down. So it's just an excruciating individual. But he just started, the guy viewing it, the guy whose channel it was, started going off about this weird, just kind of almost anti-trans stuff here and there. And here's the thing, I'm no expert about it. I'm never going to be. I don't see it ever becoming relevant to my life. And I've got enough data up here already about some things. And I'm still lacking a whole lot that's relevant to my life. So it's hard to fill it up with something else. But you don't really need to know everything about somebody to have some kind of patience and understanding and consideration. Doesn't mean you completely comprehend it, and I certainly don't. But what I do know, because I've done a little bit of research on this sort of thing, just because it was weird, and you know, I came from the age where we watched no computers and no cell phones, and all of a sudden we got what we got now. And a lot of it's gone too far, but that's a whole separate conversation. But the idea of being able to just, here's a weird word, and you can just look it up and you can study it for as long as you want. The sources might be questionable, but you might find some good sources. So I studied, people talk about male and female, and there's just that. That's just not true. You can be as anti-trans this and that as you want to be. That's absolutely not true. And just because it's not common, it's extremely rare for there to be something else, it doesn't mean that you're right on that. If you say there's only male and female, there's only this or there's only that, and even if 0.01% of the population is different, it means you're wrong. That's what that means. Further, things are on a spectrum. They are. Life everything's on a spectrum. I used to laugh at that sort of thing, but it's actually true. So, I was yawning until I started to do this. So, if there is what we're all calling male on one side, what we're all calling female on one side, and then there's these like hermaphrodites. If you haven't heard that term, you might want to look that up. There's people born with both. And there's all different variations of that. There's people born with neither. There's all this variation. I thought intersex was something that somebody sort of decided that they were. And I'm probably not phrasing that correctly. I thought it was more in the brain. No, it's physical a lot of times. So if there's that, there's degrees of it. I know there's, because they've been talking about the trans athletes and stuff like that, and there's been all this debate about that. But there's variations of how much estrogen and testosterone that people have. That varies. Male and female got both. And there's people that get on hormone treatment and all kinds of things. There's more to it than this little knee-jerk black and white way that a lot of people talk about it. And you don't have to. You can still have the issue with the athlete thing. I can get that on some categories. I can understand that. I don't know where I stand on it because I've been so full up with my own business. I've got no dog in that fight. So I haven't, it's not making or breaking my particular life. So I haven't delved into it like I have a lot of things. But on the surface, you can see some kind of argument. You can see some kind of argument both directions, but in some cases, it's pretty lopsided. There's this female strength competition. I don't know if it's international or not. I know it had it in England. And they're lifting insane weight. And this one is a trans person. And they lifted this gigantic amount of weight, way more than the second place person. And people had a fit about it. The strong men, or other strength people, they were having a fit about it, and rightly so. I could understand that. That's just not fair. It's not logical. And you didn't see a lot of, I didn't see anyway, a lot of the pro-trans people rushing to this person's aid, because I guess they understood that. You know, but that doesn't mean you got to be against all of them and what they're doing and everything. A lot of times you can just kind of look at something, not understand it, little head shake, and then go on about your day. You can do that. You don't have to be like, oh, just shut up and mind your own business. You know, not everybody needs to hear all that. You know, and no, not everybody needs to hear that crap either. Like I said on this video, the weird trans liberal person, I feel sorry for them in a way, because it's like there's no way anybody enjoys being around them. There's no way. There's no purpose. It's just a mess of a person, just a mess. So I do feel sorry for them. I won't sit there and laugh at them, because I don't know where they could end up being that kind of person. That worries me. I have a relative. I'm not going to be specific. I probably will be in other videos. And that's got nothing to do with being trans or nothing like that. But this person is just awful. Awful. And was always condescending towards me and standoffish. Had me blocked on Facebook. Hadn't even been in an argument with them. And then they ended up getting a divorce. And I don't know what they are now, just a wadded up, half crippled person, old person living by themselves. And awful person. Now you might agree, you might not agree, but that's my feelings on it. So just kind of put yourself in my shoes, whatever an awful person would be like for you. And I feel sorry for, I never thought I would feel sorry for this person. I feel sorry for them. Because they're done. It's over. What they are now, or worse, is what they're going to be the rest of their lives. And I hate that. I hate that. So, call me a bleeding heart liberal too, I suppose. Certainly not a liberal, but there you go. You get called all kinds of things. But I just think people can be a little bit more understanding about this. Read up on it. Just read up on it. Obviously, it's a spectrum. There could be somebody just beginning on the spectrum of that, where they sort of feel female. I can tell you this much, and this is a little out there, a little sort of metaphysical and hippy-dippy, but there's been times in my life where, now, I am born male and male, all that, and I'm heterosexual. There's nothing else there. Pretty boring, I suppose. But there's times in my life where I've been in a factory, someplace that there's people I'm familiar with around, so it wouldn't be just going into a grocery store. Someplace I'm working where I have standard repeating same people around. And I'll catch somebody at the corner of my eye. I got pretty good peripheral vision. I just get like a vibe of somebody or a shape over here. And my brain will flag it as female. And I'll look and it'll be a guy. Or vice versa. And I always wondered what that was. You just pick up like female or male energy. So, I mean, especially if you believe in souls, there's not male or female souls, And you got to believe in angels and God and all that. And you haven't got to inspect genitalia for that, So sometimes you just got to let it be, like the Beatles song, just let it be. It's easy. I remember I made a joke, and I knew I was going to forget it. I knew it was going to stick with me. I knew it would bother me. There was somebody that's on some kind of, in the letters somewhere, LGBTQ, I think. I don't know if it'd be non-binary or something. I don't know. One of the pronouns is they, okay? Which confuses me. Has always confused me. I don't know there's not another pronoun. I don't know what you would use besides he and she. They, it's confused me when I've been reading about theys before, because it's like, who is this? Who are they talking about? And then I realized it's that person that I thought, was one or the other pronouns, and it was that one. And I'm paragraph in, not understanding what's going on. Then I have to reread it, and I'm like, okay, now I get it. But that's always confused me. But this particular person, one of their pronouns that they prefer is they. And somebody compared this person to AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I butchered that, but you get the idea. As being sort of all hype, not really all bark and no bite, any number of those little phrases that you want to say. Not a real useful person, but they seem like they're going to make big changes, and they don't. And somebody compared this person to them. And I said, they OC. And I don't feel good about that. It bothers me. It's a good joke, but it bothers me. It bothers me, it does. That's going to stick to me. So, it's good to just try to be understanding. And if you can, you don't have to walk on eggs and tiptoe. But if you can avoid insulting someone to a ridiculous extent, just do that. I mean, the pronouns, I've dealt with it before myself, and it was harder than I expected it to be. But it can be done. It's not a big deal, and it's not going to hurt you. Just go along with it and get along. There's a lot more serious things to argue about than that. I mean, don't you think? Let's just try to get along and don't sweat the small stuff, and, fight about the bigger stuff. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, all that.